You're not being detained.
So am I free to go?
And by all means, if you do leave, it does mean that we would be able to use powers to arrest.
Welcome to Rate the Audits, where we expose misconduct, examine police and legal encounters, defend civil liberties, and demand accountability. This episode comes to us courtesy of Pinocchi News. Be sure to check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the credit he deserves. In this episode, Auditor Pinocchi is filming outside a police station when officers approach him, already speaking as though a major. Incident has taken place despite the fact that absolutely nothing has happened. No complaint is identified, no offense is explained. Just an immediate aggressive demand for his personal details. When he asks what legal power they are operating under, the answers never quite materialize. And that's where this encounter starts to become deeply uncomfortable.
What?
Can I take your details?
Am I obliged to?
Well, obviously with the current climate and you're acting a bit strangely filming a police station.
No, I just told you what I'm doing. Photography's not a crime. I'm sat here, I'm waiting to get some pictures of a police car going in and out of the police station to finish off a story that I've been working on.
Yeah,
So I'm not obliged to give you my details because I haven't broken any laws.
do you mind not putting that in my face?
Well, it's not in your face and you came up to me, so...
Yeah, because you're filming a police station.
Well, that's not against the law though, is it?
No, but it's suspicious, strange behaviour.
It is quite suspicious.
No, I don't think it is. And terrorism or current climate has nothing to do with it. Terrorism in Waterlooville, I don't think so.
It can happen anywhere, and it will cause us concern that you're sat here constantly filming a police station.
Well, why are you saying constantly?
Because
I've been sat here for 20 minutes waiting for a car to come round the corner to go into the police station, which is what I wanted to capture.
Which we did.
Yeah.
So once that happened, I'd expect you to stop.
Yeah, you continue to film.
Because you got what you wanted.
Yeah.
And left. If that was
Because you got out of the car and then you started walking over here.
The very first words out of their mouths are not questions. They are demands. Bypassing any effort to establish context or clarify a legitimate concern, they immediately jump to requesting personal information as though carrying a camera automatically triggers suspicion. Labeling public filming as strange or unusual does not magically transform it into criminal conduct. That is a subjective emotional reaction, not a legal threshold. When they desperately rely on the current climate or global tensions to justify probing for his details, the entire argument falls apart because broad geopolitical anxiety does not create specific individualized grounds. By treating a citizen's constitutional right to film as some form of national security threat, these officers are using fear-mongering to disguise a complete lack of statutory authority.
Just turned yours on.
Mine's on already.
All right, well that's fine. Well, that's fine. You're recording me and I'm recording you. But I'm not obliged to give you my details because I haven't broken any laws. Okay? And being suspicious is not a crime either.
You can appreciate though, given the current climate and terrorism being an issue, you are sat here.
There's no terrorism in Waterlooville. Yeah. Oh, and understand why you come over to speak to me, but coming over and like, oh, we'll get your details, blah blah blah, I'm not obliged to do that.
I'm engaging in a conversation with you.
Yeah. And I told you what I was.
I'm PC Morris.
I told you what I was doing.
Waterlooville Police Station. All I asked was for your details.
And
you could introduce yourself.
I explained to you what I was doing.
And I understand that. All I asked was for your details, for your name.
Yeah, no, you don't need my name.
No?
No, because
Okay,
you
fine.
stick it in your computer and it stays there forever.
It's not that it was honestly from me to engage in a conversation with you. I appreciate it. Obviously,
I've just spoken to my sergeant as well.
Yeah.
Under the Terrorism Act, with the current climate is severe and the way you're acting, I will need your details.
No.
Attempting to reframe this ambush as a friendly introduction is completely laughable and directly contradicts their hostile body language. Notebook open, pen poised, and immediately demanding personal information before anything remotely resembling a basic greeting. This is how you begin creating a criminal record, proving they're polite. Excuses were manufactured afterward to soften how ugly this looks on camera. The encounter deteriorates even further when the frontline officer, completely unable to articulate a genuine legal basis for the stop, disappears to consult a sergeant and returns armed with the desperate suggestion of invoking terrorism legislation. When officers lack a basic understanding of the law, extreme escalation becomes the immediate fallback. By entertaining the use of the Terrorism Act against a man simply holding a camera, the sergeant has committed a gross abuse of power.
Please provide me your
I'm not
details,
obliged to give you my
or it's
details
an
because
arrestable offence.
I haven't broken the law.
Recording equipment if you are filming the police station under the current climate severe. Okay.
It is an
That's not. It's not. That's
anyone watching your videos.
you can't seize my
Anyone
equipment.
watching your videos that you are currently, say you're live streaming,
Yeah.
will probably agree that under terrorism at the moment, with the risk as it is.
Now this is live streaming because if you take my phone, it's not on my phone.
I'm explaining to you. I'm explaining to you the reasons why I'm speaking to you, and all I am requesting for is your details. I'm not going to.
I'm not obliged to get. I've not broken no laws.
If you don't give us your details, it gives us grounds to arrest.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's unlawful arrest. No, that is unlawful arrest.
Failure to give a name.
I've not broken no laws, so that'd be.
The logic completely collapses at this stage as these officers suggest that refusing to hand over personal details somehow creates the offense itself. A legally illiterate inversion of Section 24 of PACE. Refusing to comply with an unlawful demand does not magically generate grounds for arrest. Objective and reasonable suspicion of an actual offense must exist independently before a name can ever be demanded. Threatening to seize his recording equipment simply because he refuses to provide his name demonstrates a terrifying misunderstanding of seizure powers. Under Section 19 of PACE, which strictly requires clear statutory necessity, not an officer's irritation. When the notebook appears once again, the priority here is not public safety or identifying a crime. It is about filling in a line on a page.
I've actually got written permission to sit here and do this.
Right, well, why didn't you tell us that? Can you show us that, please?
Where's your written permission? It's
That's not a public place.
police station. A police station's not a public place.
Well, it's still paid for by the public, isn't it?
It's not a public place though. Under the
Well,
definition of
where
a
I am
public
is a public place,
You're right there.
and I'm allowed to film anything I can see from a public place.
Within reason, but if your actions go beyond that and are suspicious.
Well, my actions aren't going beyond that. I've told you exactly what I'm doing. It's to finish off the end of my social experiment blog that I was making.
Well, you're still filming now, so it's.
I'm filming now for my own protection.
Protection from what?
From you. You're standing there threatening to arrest me under terrorism.
No, I'm asking for your name and details.
Which I'm not obliged to give you unless I've been arrested for a crime.
I don't feel like we've given you any cause for concern about our behaviour.
Well, he's threatening to arrest me under the Terrorism Act, which you couldn't even quote to me.
He's not threatening
I'm not going to quote every part of the law.
You're telling me, by me not giving you my details,
that's not my job.
you told me me not giving you my details is an arrestable offence, which it isn't.
It says everything about the state of modern policing when a citizen is forced to produce written legislation while officers rely on vague memory and personal assumptions. The exact moment he handed them the wording of the law should have been the reset button, but instead an officer attempted to rewrite reality by claiming the police station is not a public place. This desperate attempt to blur legal boundaries completely fails. He is standing on publicly accessible land where any citizen is lawfully permitted to remain. Then comes the astonishing remark that quoting the law is not his job. If you are invoking statutory powers to strip a citizen of their liberty, understanding and accurately articulating those powers is exactly what your job is.
Not permission for you to sit
Which
here
it isn't.
Police station, which is what you've just disclosed.
I am perfectly entitled to sit here and film a police station from a public space. In fact, I can even give you the law on photography. There you go.
You do not need a permit to film or
No, I don't.
in a public place. It doesn't say anything about filming or taking photographs from a place that isn't public. Photography on private land is not restricted if the landowner has given permission.
I'm on public land.
Yeah, but what
But I
we're
can
talking
still
about is the fact that you're filming the police station, which is not
that's not a house though, is it?
No, but it's not a public place.
Yeah, but if someone wants to stand outside my house in the public and film it, they're allowed to do that by law.
No,
there is no law that's... No, there's no law. No, there's not.
Right.
No, there's not.
Ask if there's permission from one of the bosses in there.
I don't need permission to film the police station from a public
No,
space.
as I said, my suspicions are about your behaviour. It's all very strange.
What's suspicious about my behaviour? Do you think I'm a terrorist?
You're not talking to me normally.
Have I got any bombs in my bag?
You're quite defensive about the fact that...
Yes, because you've come over here to stop me. You're trying to stop me from filming.
The officer's logic completely misses the point. The absence of a sentence explicitly allowing public filming does not create a prohibition. In a free society, you are entirely free to record anything you can lawfully see unless a specific statutory restriction applies. There is no blanket law prohibiting the act of pointing a camera at a building simply because a uniformed officer dislikes it. When that desperate angle falls apart, the focus shifts toward his behavior, as though asserting rights or asking for clarification somehow transforms lawful activity into suspicion. Being firm is not an offense, and asking questions is not obstruction under the Police Act 1996. Reframing calm composure as defensiveness is simply another pathetic attempt to stretch an officer's personal discomfort into justification.
And finishing my blog.
You wouldn't even provide me a name.
Well, that's because I don't need to.
All this amounts...
Because I'm not obliged to give you my name, that's
You're not
why.
obliged.
Well,
However,
exactly.
when I approached you to engage in a conversation and you were quite defensive.
I actually didn't want a conversation. If you had just gone into the police station, I would have left because I got the footage that I wanted.
Yeah, but you can understand that obviously, given the fact that you're sat here filming a police station, it's quite concerning for us.
Why?
For officer safety.
What am I going to do?
You're
What
about to
officer
publish
safety?
a video showing the registration plate of police cars in a police station.
They're in public all day, every single day. Police cars. There's no privacy in public. That's why there's CCTV cameras, millions of them all around the country. So I don't think your colleague really should stand there and threaten to take away my camera equipment.
He didn't threaten to take
Yes, he
away
did.
camera equipment.
Yes, he did. It's on camera.
Stated.
Is this a threat?
When one officer finally concedes that he is entirely within his rights, that should have been the natural and professional conclusion of the interaction. Instead, the justification pivots once again, this time hiding behind the shield of officer safety by claiming that capturing vehicle registration plates on camera is somehow dangerous. Police vehicles operate daily on public roads where their registration numbers are fully visible to anyone driving behind them, parking beside them, or simply walking past. A registration mark is not confidential information. You cannot retroactively transform an openly displayed piece of ordinary public information into a national security threat simply because a camera happens to be involved.
You're trying to scare me into, I don't want my phone to be taken. So in order for me to give up my details that I'm not obliged to give you.
If you believe that we wouldn't be able to seize your phone, why would you be recording live to a cloud so that when your phone is taken?
Oh, when my phone's taken?
Well, that's what you said.
Is that what you're saying?
No,
when my phone's... That's why I'm recording to the cloud and not onto my phone.
You said that you record so that if somebody takes your phone,
yep,
that the videos aren't there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I've still got my evidence, because I can't get your evidence off of your camera. If this goes to court for me to get all my camera equipment back.
Why would you assume this is going to go to court?
Because if you're going to take my camera equipment, then it's going to go to court, isn't it?
Why would you assume we were going to take?
Because you would have unlawfully arrested me and unlawfully taken my camera equipment. You're trying to scare me into giving you my details that I'm not obliged to give you. I'm not obliged to give you my details. Well, I don't need to account. I'm sat here doing something perfectly lawful from a public space.
Labeling this hostile encounter a stop and account after the fact does absolutely nothing to clean up the illegality. Under PACE Code A stop and account is a brief consensual interaction intended for voluntary conversation. It is not a shortcut to demand personal details, nor does it carry a single compulsory power. The officer's visible shock when he mentions the courts is incredibly revealing because pointing out that an arrest or equipment seizure must ultimately survive independent judicial scrutiny should not come as a revelation. It is the standard constitutional test for exercising state power. The fact that this completely catches her off guard proves she never considered the legal consequences of her actions.
Terrorism Act
He merely
and
stated
threaten
that
and
that as
trying to
police officers,
intimidate
somebody
me
not giving their details is a necessity that we can use for an arrest.
by making me think he's going to take away my camera
He
equipment.
didn't say that it was a threat that he was going to arrest you at all.
Okay. Am I being detained?
Sorry?
Am I being detained?
No, it's merely a stop and
Okay.
count. I mean, if you do leave, obviously we do have powers.
Are you going to use those powers if I leave then? Because
Which
you
means-
just said I'm not being detained, so I'm free to go.
You're not being detained.
So am I
no.
free to go?
And by all means, if you do leave, it does mean that we would be able to use powers to arrest you on the grounds of suspicion of an offence.
What offence?
My colleague is speaking to my sergeant at the moment.
So am I free to go?
That's obviously your decision.
And I'm not being detained?
That's obviously your decision.
And I'm free to leave? Am I free to leave? What's that mean?
As I've just explained to you, it's a stop and account.
Have I broken any laws?
At the moment, you are filming a police station.
That's not breaking the-
which
that's
is
not
quite
breaking the law.
concerning, which is why me and my colleague came over to speak to you.
That's not breaking the law though, is it?
As I explained to you, my colleague has basically gone to speak to my sergeant
Yeah.
to discuss.
Right. Are
level.
you detaining me here?
I'm not detaining you.
Right, so am I free to leave?
I would suggest you didn't leave.
Am I free to leave?
I would suggest you didn't leave.
Why?
I would suggest that you didn't leave.
Why?
I have answered your question. What you do next is up to you.
Well, I know what next is up to me, but you just said I'm not being detained, so therefore I'm free to leave because I've broken no laws.
The next move is yours. I've
Oh.
asked you to wait.
Okay, I don't want to wait. I'm going to leave and I'm going to go home. Okay?
The clearest moment in this entire exchange occurs when he asks a very simple status question. Am I detained? And the officer answers no. That answer carries immense legal weight. If a citizen is not detained, they are entirely free to walk away. Yet the moment he acts upon that freedom, the officers immediately contradict themselves, instantly shifting to, I have the power to stop you, while threatening arrest based on vague and undefined suspicion. Statutory powers do not magically switch on and off simply because a citizen decides to walk away. Throughout this encounter, significant legal terms were thrown around with a terrifying level of casualness. Arrest was floated without a clearly defined offense. The seizure of equipment was threatened without a valid statutory basis. And terrorism legislation was suggested as a desperate fallback. When such serious state powers are used as casual conversational tools to intimidate a peaceful auditor, it weakens the very legitimacy of the police service itself. What closes this episode is not confrontation. It is pure legal exposure. He simply walks away because, in the end, there was absolutely nothing concrete holding him there. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It genuinely helps support my independent coverage. Also, don't forget to check out Pinocchio News. His channel is linked in the description below. Show him some support. Thanks for watching. This was Rate the Audits. I'll see you in the next one.